Welcome to yet another episode of All Things Spiritual. And I am Dr. Tamanna C, a psychic, karma coach, and an author. And in today's episode, we are going to go deeper into another set of questions, everything to do with the realm of consciousness, relationships, karmas, soul contracts, soul connections, esoteric, healing, and of course, all things spiritual. But before we move into the first question, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Let's start with the first question for today. Why do bad things keep happening to good people? And where is God or the universe in all of this? This is the oldest question humanity has ever asked. And I will not answer it with platitudes. The universe is not a vending machine that rewards goodness with ease, and suffering is not a punishment for failure. Life at the soul level is like a school, and schools have hard lessons. The depth of the lesson is often proportionate to the size of the soul's assignment. Some of the most spiritually evolved, most compassionate, most world changing souls I have known have suffered enormously. Their suffering did not mean they were abandoned or they were bad. It was forging them. It's like think of gold. It does not become gold without fire. But I also want to be honest. Some suffering has no cosmic meaning. Some of it is the consequences of living in a world where free will exists. And sometimes other people's choices cause innocent people's pain. That is not divine punishment. That is the cost of the world with freedom. Where is the universe in all of this? And I personally believe that it is present in every moment of grace that appears inside the suffering. The stranger who helps you, the friend who calls exactly at the right moment, the unexpected door that opens after everything fell apart. The universe speaks in grace notes. You may not realize it when you're going through sufferings, but it brings in the healing after the suffering. It brings in ease after the suffering. And the universe is not dismissing it, but the universe is waiting for the good souls to choose better. The next question is something I'm sure you all have asked or thought of. Why does the same type of toxic person keep showing up in my life? And you may hate this answer, but because the universe is extraordinarily patient and super persistent. When there's a lesson you have not yet learned, life will keep sending you different versions of the same teacher. Different faces, different names, different relationships, but the same code wound being triggered. This is not bad luck. This is not your fault. This is the universe's GPS recalculating to get you to your destination. The pattern repeats until the lesson is integrated, not just intellectually understood, but genuinely healed in your body, your belief systems, and your behavior. Now, here's how to break it. Stop analyzing the other person and start examining yourself. Ask yourself, what does this toxic person trigger in me? What old wounds does this feeling trace back to? And usually it leads to childhood. A parent, a sibling, an early experience that told you something untrue about your worth. Once you find that original wound and you begin healing it, and I mean real healing, not just awareness, the pattern breaks. I've watched this happen with 100 clients. The day they truly healed the root wound, the type of person who used to consume their life simply stopped appearing and the energy shifted. Heal the frequency, change the signal, and that's how you attract something completely different. Now, moving on to the next question. Can unresolved trauma show up as a chronic physical ailment? 100%. 100% yes. And this is no longer just spiritual wisdom, it is medical fact. Unresolved trauma lives in the body, in the nervous system, in the muscles, in the organs. When an emotion is not fully processed, it does not disappear, it gets stored. Anger stored in the liver can manifest as a liver dysfunction. Grief stored in lungs creates respiratory issues. Fear stored in the kidney creates chronic lower back pain and adrenal exhaustion. Resentment stored in the heart creates heart related problems. And this is not just metaphor, this is physiological. The body speaks the language of unspoken emotions. Every chronic condition with no clear medical cause deserves a deeper question. What emotion am I not allowing myself to feel? By this does not mean medicine is wrong. It means medicine alone is incomplete. True healing addresses physical, emotional, energetic, and spiritual body simultaneously. If you have a chronic condition that doctors cannot fully explain, don't stop medical treatment, but add emotional healing work. Your body has been trying to tell you something, but the question is, are you listening to it? Moving forward to the next question. How do I know if the signs I'm seeing are real divine guidance or just my own mind? This is one of the most honest questions anyone on a spiritual path can ask. The fact that you're asking it shows real discernment. And here is how I distinguish them. Divine guidance has a quality of stillness. It arrives quietly, often when you're not looking for it. It does not feel desperate. It feels like a clear knowing. Your ego, your mind is loud. It argues, it justifies, it bargains. It tells you what you want to hear or what you fear the most, and it keeps fluctuating. True guidance is consistent. A genuine sign does not change based on your mood that day. It remains steady when you sit with it quietly. And here is the test. First, does it require you to harm yourself or someone else? If yes, it is not divine. Second, does it feel expansive or contracting? Real guidance always opens something, even if it's uncomfortable. Fear always closes. And the third test is, does it align with love? The divine always communicates from love. The more you meditate, the more you quiet the mental noise, the clearer the channel will become. Discernment is like a muscle, intuition is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the more you embody it, the stronger it keeps getting. Why do I keep attracting the same toxic people no matter what I do? I receive this question all the time, and the answer is, while hard to hear, it is also deeply liberating. You attract what you vibrate at, not what you want, but what you are. If you keep attracting narcissists, ask yourself, do I have weak boundaries? Do I confuse intensity with love? Because narcissists are drawn to empaths like a moth to a flame. They sense that openness and they exploit it. If you keep attracting emotionally unavailable people, ask yourself, am I actually available to myself? Or am I choosing people who confirm my deepest belief that I don't deserve consistent love? The pattern is never about the other person. The pattern is always pointing back to an unhealed wound inside of you. And here's the beautiful part. The moment you heal that wound, the pattern stops. The same type of person stops appearing. You don't need to find better people. You need to become the version of yourself that no longer accepts less than you deserve. And that is real work. Can energy block stop me from making money or finding love? Most people believe money and love problems are external. Wrong partner, wrong job, wrong economy. But here's what I know after 17 years of working with clients, including very successful people who still couldn't find love and very loving people who couldn't hold on to money. A blocked root chakra creates a survival frequency. When you operate in survival mode, you make fear based decisions with money. You sabotage success because deep down you don't believe you deserve stability. A blocked heart chakra literally repels love. Your aura sends a signal that says, I am not open. The right people walk right past you, while the wrong ones are strangely attracted to you. A blocked sacral chakra suppresses your creativity and your magnetism. This directly affects your earning power and your ability to attract the power because it says that you don't deserve anything good. The blocks are real, the impact is real, but so is the healing. There are so many healing techniques. For example, Reiki, breath work, shadow work, EFT, so on and so forth. These aren't just luxury trends, they are tools for removing the invisible ceiling on your life. How do I start trusting my own intuition when I've been wrong before? First, let's redefine wrong because I think you've been too hard on yourself. Intuition is not a prediction machine. It is an internal compass pointing towards your highest good. Sometimes that compass points you towards an experience that turns out to be painful, not because it was wrong, but because that experience carried something that you needed. You followed a feeling that led to a difficult relationship. That relationship may have taught you your most important lesson. The intuition wasn't wrong. You just didn't have enough context yet to bring everything together of what you were supposed to learn and go through. Now, here is how you rebuild trust in yourself. And you need to start small. Use your intuition for low stakes decision. Which route should I take today? Who should I call this week? Notice what happens when you follow those quiet nudges. Keep a journal. Write down your intuitive hits. Over time, you will see a pattern. Your inner voice has been more accurate than you've given it credit for. Learn to distinguish intuition from fear. Intuition is calm, clear, and consistent. Fear is urgent, loud, and changeable. And you need to forgive yourself for the times you were wrong. You were not wrong, you were learning. Every misread was calibrating your instrument. Your intuition has never stopped trying to guide you. Are you ready to trust it? Because trust me, your intuition deserves a listening from you. Moving forward to the next question. If I'm suffering in this lifetime, does it mean I did something wrong in a past life? This is the question that breaks my heart the most because so many people are carrying the guilt for the lives that they don't even remember. Let me reframe this entirely. Karma is not punishment, karma is curriculum. When you choose to come into this lifetime, and yes, at a soul level, you choose. You selected specific lessons that your soul needed to evolve. Suffering is often the fastest classroom for growth. Think about it. Your most painful experiences are the ones that changed you the most profoundly. That is not an accident, that is a design. Does that mean you deserve to suffer? Absolutely not. Understanding your karma means you can move through it with awareness instead of being dragged through it unconsciously. The next time you're suffering, ask yourself, what is this pain teaching me? What strength is it building? What pattern is it trying to break? When you find the answer, the sufferings begin to shift. Not because the circumstances changed immediately, but because you have changed. And that's the entire point. When you find the answer, the sufferings begin to shift. Not because the circumstances changed immediately, but because you have changed your awareness and broken your patterns to stop attracting the suffering in the first place. I've been manifesting for years and nothing works. What am I doing wrong? And now you need to raise your hand if at all you have asked this question to yourself so many times. I hear this constantly, and I want to be honest with you in a way that social media or none of these fads will talk about. Manifestation is not magic, it is alignment. And alignment requires more than a vision board and positive thinking. Here's what's actually blocking you. Number one, subconscious contradictions. You want abundance, but believe deep down that money is corrupting. You want love, but believe deep down that you are unlovable. Your conscious desires and your subconscious belief systems are at war, and the subconscious always wins. Number two, you are manifesting from lack. Every time you focus on what you don't have, you amplify the frequency of absence. Manifestation requires feeling the reality of what you want, not the desperation of its absence. And number three, misaligned action. The universe responds to energy plus effort. If you're waiting for things to fall from the sky without moving towards them, you are asking the universe to do your work for you. Number four, unhealed blocks, emotional wounds, chakra blocks, limiting belief systems. No amount of manifestation can clear these blocks. Only healing can. Fix the inner world first, then the outer world will follow. And this is the law. The next question is, how do I know when it's time to walk away from a relationship versus to stay and heal? This is the question I'm asked more than almost any other. And I want to give you a real answer, not just the spiritual platitude. Stay and do the work when both people are willing to grow. When the pain comes from the patterns that can be healed. When beneath the conflicts there's genuine love and respect. When you're growing as an individual within the relationship. Leave when there is abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, or psychological. When you have done the work and your partner refuses to, when your body, your gut, your soul has been telling you to go for years and you keep overriding it. When staying requires you to continuously shrink yourself, here is the spiritual truth. Sometimes love is not enough. Two people can love each other deeply and still be completely wrong for each other's growth. And here's what nobody says enough. Leaving is not giving up. Leaving a situation that is destroying you after genuinely trying is an act of profound self love and spiritual maturity. Your intuition already knows the answer. The real question is whether you trust it enough to act on it. Sit in silence. Ask yourself honestly. Your soul will have the answer. What are the laws of the universe and how do they actually work in daily life? The universe is not random. It operates on precise, unwavering laws. And understanding them changes everything. The law of vibration, which says everything is energy. Every thought, every emotion, every word carries a frequency. You are constantly broadcasting a signal, and life responds to that signal. Then comes the law of attraction. Of course, it's the most famous, but it says like attracts like. But it is a consequence of vibration, not a standalone law. Fix your frequency first. Then comes the law of cause and effect, or karma, which says every action has a corresponding reaction. You cannot plant doubt and harvest confidence. You cannot plant cruelty and harvest love. Then comes the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. Darkness contains light, failure contains the seed of success. Stop fearing the hard time because they carry you through your breakthroughs. Then comes the law of rhythm, which says life moves in cycles. What goes down comes up. and what goes up goes down. And this is the law, not the hope. The law of divine oneness, which states we are all connected. What you do to others, you ultimately do to yourself. And these aren't theories, they are operating system of reality. Work with them and watch your life transform. Coming to the last question for today. Can my own negative thoughts literally block my blessings? They can not only block them, they can create very situations you're afraid of. Let me explain the mechanism because this is just not a spiritual theory. Neuroscience completely backs it. Your brain cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When you repeatedly think, I'm going to fail, your brain treats it as a reality and begins organizing your behavior, your perception, and your choices to match that story. You start missing opportunities because your brain filters them out as irrelevant to your I'm going to fail narrative. You self sabotage without realizing it. You push away people and situations that could help you. Spiritually, fear based thoughts create low frequency fields that literally repels high frequency outcomes, like trying to connect two opposing magnets. But here is the crucial part most people skip. You cannot think your way out of negative thought patterns. Affirmations alone don't work if there's deeper programming underneath. The work is in the body, breath work, Reiki, chakra healing, somatic healing, and meditation. These rewire the nervous system at a root level where the negative programming is actually affecting your life. Your thoughts are creating your reality right now. And are you conscious of what you're creating, or are you just blindly taking what life is offering you? Be mindful towards that and take responsibility for it. With this, we come to an end of yet another episode of All Things Spiritual. And I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you've got answers to the questions that you've had in your mind and never asked, or the questions that you've been seeking answers to for a very long time. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're updated about all the upcoming videos and podcasts. Up until my next, stay blessed and stay loved.